Right. So the revenues that Jake bring in, they're not satisfied with it. You know, but all this thing of mortgages and that debt pledge and all that, all that stuff goes back to, because look, when a time in America, right, and I'm gonna get an article and I'm gonna read it. It was something that's called, right now you have a certificate of ownership, all right, or deeds or whatever, which they call it a bundle of sticks. It comes from a thing called a bundle of sticks, or a bundle of rights. So when you buy a house, you have a bundle of rights, all right. You went into a pledge or marriage with the bank, which goes into the bank, which if you don't pay certain taxes, it goes to the county, which is an agent for the state, which is an agent to the international bankers. It go all the way back to the international bankers. And I'm gonna read this little article that I got here. It's a allodial title. A allodial title is what Americans used to have here in America, but that's not. You don't have that now. Allodial title. This is a allodial title. Allodial, free, not holding of any lord or superior. Now, when it talks about a lord or superior, you have another thing called homage, where you're just a tenant and you basically come into agreement with the king or the man or the minor that owns that property. And I'm gonna read that little excerpt of it to show you what I'm talking about. But let me get to this. It says, free, not holding of any lord or superior, owned without obligation or fealty. And when you go into fealties, basically you have certain obligations to the bank, and if you don't fulfill those obligations, they're gonna come and take your property. The opposite of feudal. It says a allodial title is the heart and soul of the construction of the United States of America. This is how you hold title to your land, free and clear of any taxes or encumbrance. The government cannot come onto your land. You are sovereign on your land. Imagine owning land where you knew if all went wrong, you could at least go and grow vegetables and survive. This is what the U.S. is meant to be. Following the fraud of the Federal Reserve Banking Act and the owners of that bank causing World War I and the Great Depression and the bankruptcy of the USA, the banksters deceptively eliminated the allodial title and the heart of the USA was torn out. It comes at a shock when you realize that you do not own what you thought you owned. Go to the Bureau of Land Management to find out who owns your land. In the Treaty of Paris, which ended the American Revolutionary War, the American people were given their lands in an allodial title. Citizens owned all the property free and clear. At some point, the U.S. government returned the country to the feudal system of property ownership, forcing obligations to pay tax, to pay duties or tax. Meaning what? You have a king. Let me read this other thing, because I was going into how you have a bundle of sticks or a bundle of rights. You have a bundle of rights when it comes to your land. Okay, let me get it. And I was talking about homage. This is a site called, let me get you the site. It says the Judicial Deception, allodial title. If you brothers want to look it up, because it's real long. If you look, it's real long. So I'm gonna just, it goes into the whole situation of the whole housing and all that stuff. Well, I'm gonna read homage. You see, homage, and it talks about the feudal law, or you just being a tenant on that land, and you basically under ownership of the king or whoever owns that property, which is the international bankers. A feudal law, a service or ceremony of rendering it, which a tenant was bound to perform to his lord on receiving of a fee. or succeeding to it as heir, in acknowledgement of the tenor. It is described by the littleton as the most honorable service of reverence that a free tenant might do to his lord. The ceremony was as follows. The tenant, being ungirt and with bare knee, knelt before the Lord, the latter sitting, and held his hand extended and joint between the hand of the Lord, and said, I become your man. And the guy put homo here, from this day forward, of life and limb and earthly honor. So you basically, when you go into that death note, you going into a lifelong partnership, and you're gonna be dead before you fucking pay off that loan, or they're gonna come and seize your property. Like I said, this lesson is about, this is not your rest. A very place that you go and live and to raise a family, you go through a whole bunch of things trying to own that property. A lot of stress and so on and so forth. It says, I become your man from this day forward, of life and limb and earthly honor, and to will be faithful and loyal, and bear you faith for the tenements that I claim to hold of you, saving the faith that I owe unto our sovereign Lord the King. So help me God. The tenant received a kiss from the Lord. Homage could be done only to the Lord himself. And the guy posed a question. It says, wait, I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. You know, this thing is. Well, that was basically the point. I mean, it's a lot more if you want to, look into it. You can look into it, but basically, that property you don't really own the property that you're living in. You know, it's just you just living there. You just a tenant. You just paying off the obligation that you have, because you don't have rights to the land, the house, or the air, because there's something called airspace. You don't have no rights to that. That's why if you don't pay off your taxes, you don't pay the taxes on that property, they put a lien on your property and they come and take it from you, because you really don't own it. You're just there fulfilling that obligation. Now let me go back to the scriptures. All right. I'm gonna go to Baruch. That's why the Lord said you sow much and bring in little, and you put your wages in a bag with holes. And one of those bags is talking about that debt of owning a so-called holding a home, because you really don't own it. This is Baruch, the 3rd chapter, and was it 8? It says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God. So basically, the Most High scattered us, and everywhere that we go, matter of fact, we in captivity, we still under the servitude of the so-called white man, that we have to pay off these debts, and we put in subjection under him. All right, which the Lord scattered us, because to the 4 corners of the earth, the nation of Israel are going through the same things, where we're subject to payments. All right, constantly having to pay, constantly having to subject yourself to these low-paying jobs, to just not being a real man, basically. You know what I'm saying? Under the principle of the scriptures, actually owning land, owning property, owning your woman, owning your kids. Because none of those things, we don't own none of those things here in America. You know? The reason why I'm bringing this out is because, I used to be into this real estate thing. I'm not gonna get all into it, but I remember when I was all into it, and then I was now coming into the truth. I read this scripture right here in Ecclesiasticus, and I decided not to deal with that no more. And I decided not to do that no more. This is Ecclesiasticus 27 and 3. Unless a man hold himself diligently, this is Ecclesiasticus 27 and 2. As a nail sticketh fast between the joint and between Salakia, man. I'm overreading. It says, as a nail sticketh fast between the joining of the stones, so doth sin stick close between buying and selling. Unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown. But the point is, that whole real estate and all that stuff is just a scheme by the international bankers, man. And the agents that continue to sell houses, they basically an agent of death. Mortgages and all that stuff is just a debt note, you know. And our people is snared in this system, which is a hole. We put our monies in bags of holes. And so what these guys out there like Izar, Blue, and Mike Giant and all these guys, they talk about the Bumites and everything. The Lord said this is not our rest. So there's gonna be brothers that's always gonna be in a straight situation. Because what? That tests your integrity, that tests, and plus it purifies you, you know, when you go through hardship. But they wouldn't understand that because they not on no kind of level, man, you know. But that whole mortgage thing is a scheme, and our people think this is their rest, and this place is going to destroy them, like the scripture says. They're going to be destroyed trying to keep their mortgages and keep all these things that they're trying to hold on to in this society, because what, the Most High eventually is going to destroy it, you know. And with that, I'm gonna say all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, double honors to the elders at Great Millstone, salutation to you brothers. And remember, water that flow can't spoil, so keep on flowing. Shalom.